The Chancellor, His Excellency Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, the former President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Cabinet Ministers and Members of Parliament present, our commencement speaker who has given us wonderful words of wisdom, Your Excellencies, ambassadors and members of the diplomatic corps, Chairman, University Council, Professor Olubai, and members of the University Council present, Chairperson, University Advisory Council, Lady Justice Lillian Tibantemwa, and members of the University Advisory Council, the Vice Chancellor of Cavendish University Uganda, Professor John Mugisha, and all the members of staff, heads of government departments, the visiting vice chancellors, the rectors, directors, and principals of all other institutions in Uganda, distinguished guests, parents and sponsors, graduates of Cavendish University Uganda 2023 class. Are you there? Ladies and gentlemen, I take it as a great honor to be invited today to speak and give some words of remarks on behalf of the government of Uganda. I tend to have this wave of inspiration whenever I show up at a graduation. So before I read my written speech, I would like to have a few remarks. And these are some words to introduce myself to you so that I can be able to give you the written speech. One day like this, in January 1993, I sat in a congregation like many of these graduates are, having finished my undergraduate in 1992. Amazingly, at my graduation, there was one distinguished dignitary from Nigeria called Chief Abiola, who was being awarded a honorary degree. And today, I'm in the presence of another distinguished Nigerian, none other than His Excellency, the former president. I think he's actually the Nigerian president I know much about. Your Excellency, you're very welcome to Uganda. During your tenure, I spent quite a lot of time in Nigeria, supporting the setup of epidemic response systems there and the setup of the public health school. And I must say, I enjoyed being in Nigeria then, and I always said Nigeria inspired me. And the only book I've ever written and published was written when I was visiting Nigeria. So you're very welcome to this land, which I know now is your second home. To the graduates, I spent many years like you, 7 plus 4 plus 2 plus 5, because I had a 5-year program. And today I'm honored to have one of my professors here, Professor Nasinyama. So if I tell some lies about my academic life, he will be there as a witness. But I don't usually tell lies. I'm referring to this because these off-cuff remarks, I've titled it, why should your graduation matter? Why should it matter that you're graduating? Because many times we just put on some flowers, take some pictures, put on the gowns, come here, but what does it matter that you're graduating? So as I graduated that day, I had been an excellent student through those years, excellent student. Even courses they said were difficult. For me, it was just bread and butter. And as I finished school, what was to my credit was that I was extremely academically talented. And so when I finished, I was lucky. I was immediately offered a job as a lecturer at the university, rather a teaching assistant. However, after exiting the gates of academia and entering the work of life, before that, I lived for my grades. You know, I wanted to get this. We didn't have the things of GPA then. We had credits and distinctions, and I was like, oh, okay. Now come, I graduate, and there's no more marks, no more score, no more position of class. I joined the work life, and it became pretty routine. After my first year of teaching was very exciting, you know, because after sitting on the other side, I could sit on this side of the bench of academia. And I went there very happy. But after 10 years of doing that, I became a bit depressed, because I looked back and I was like, okay, I've had a job, I've worked, I've had a second degree, and I'm would be considered successful. But what did my graduation really matter? I was earning a salary, which my colleagues at that time called a non-living wage at Musenero University. People who hadn't gone to school were earning more money than me. So it is not, I didn't graduate to earn more money. I complained about conditions like everybody. Those who went to school and those who didn't go to school. I spent all the time, you know, complaining about government not employing us. Then we had severe crippling power load shedding. I complained about power load shedding. I complained about potholes. I complained about everything. Did it matter that I graduated? Did it make a difference in my life? I got lost in the day-to-day struggles of life. And I began to question, why did I graduate and how can it make a difference? And I would like to share 4 quick things. These are specifically for the graduates. There will be more in my red speech. I decided on 4 things. 1, to define a purpose for my life. Why was I here? What was I doing? What did my degree in veterinary medicine matter? Or the master's, what did it matter? That excellent graduation, if it's not enclosed in a purpose, excellent graduates here will end up just the same like everybody else. The second thing is I decided to define a very clear vision for my life. What did I want to accomplish? Because after 10 years, remember, your life, you are getting to what they call the hill, and you're getting over the hill. And if you joke, days like this come and go, and years come and go. So I decided to define a vision, clear vision. What do I want to accomplish in life? The purpose is, why was I here? What am I going to accomplish? The third thing is I defined principles to live by. I live my life by principle, and it has made a big difference. Some of these principles were, I will work hard whether everybody around me is lazy. I will live a life of integrity whether everybody around me is corrupt. I will live a life of love when I'm surrounded by hatred. I will live a life of service, and I will live a life of excellence. For those of you who have been here, when you hear anything in the media about Musenero, if it doesn't align with this, it is false. If it doesn't talk about hard work, if it does not refer to integrity, actually brutal integrity, because I don't even allow myself to deceive myself. A life of love, give love to everybody. A life of service, and be excellent at whatever I do. Those principles have led me to where I am now and where I have been. The fourth thing I decided is to develop a vessel, something that I'll be so good at that I will use that to serve other people. And that has been building up. And I used to say it was public health, now I say it is science. Public health was just a component. And that has helped me to serve people all over the world. So I want to challenge you today that as you graduate, don't get lost in the grind of life. Define a purpose so that you don't get lost in all the grumblings on social media. To many people on social media, every day the sun is falling down. Every day the world is coming to an end. Everything that happens is a disaster. But as His Excellency, good luck here, having been at the top of a country, can tell you, no, the sun is not falling. It is you who is thinking, because after a long time, the country will be here. So the second aspect of me, I want to introduce myself to you, is what do I do as Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation? I lead a sector which has a combination of science. Now, science is knowledge. If you are an excellent lawyer, have your information that it distinguishes from what everybody else is doing, you're a scientist. I thought the lawyers would clap. Because you've been saying the scientist, I'm defining for you the scientist. Technology, science is knowledge. Technology, we use the knowledge to create tools that we can apply. And innovation is the combination of the knowledge and the tools to solve problems of life. So that is what I do. My job as the Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation is to link academia to the economy. I bridge academia and the economy, because developed nations and the underdeveloped nations are differentiated by how well they have linked the academia to the economy via science, technology, and innovation. I hope the third thing in my definition of who Musenero is, and this is a very special invitation to all of you, is I want to invite you to be thinkers. Africa has spent the last 200 years delegating thinking to others. As people who are graduating, you need to be thinkers. Thinkers, people who think new things. It's okay, there are standards in the world, but especially for those of you in science, I see Faculty of Science and Technology, I want to tell you that every principle you have learned should be a footstool. The science of tomorrow is in your head, and it has to be thought and generated. So I challenge Africans to think. So I stand here today as your guest of honor to address this remarkable gathering. Talented young individuals. I must have heard a lot about Cavendish. This is my first time to interact with you, but the reputation goes before you. And I've heard a lot about this university. So before going deep in the speech, I wish to acknowledge the aspirations and dreams that you, the graduating class, hold dearly. Your education has equipped you with a strong foundation, both academically and personally, building your character, building your resilience, building you to thrive in Africa. I know many of you are graduating because you want to migrate. May I invite you to stay? May I invite you to stay? It is our responsibility to develop Uganda. It's our responsibility to develop Africa. And the resources to do that are being confirmed to you at this graduation. One of the key focuses of this government is to foster a robust, inclusive economy that provides ample employment opportunities for the skilled graduates. In Uganda, we are committed to creating an environment that encourages investment, innovation, and entrepreneurship. We had a decent discussion today with our speaker and about the definition of entrepreneurship. I will leave him to discuss with you over lunch what we discussed. But we were trying to understand whether Ugandans are high at entrepreneurship or not. So we are investing a lot in infrastructure, technology, research and development, and economic to ensure that we develop industries and economic growth. Therefore, developing industry is a priority for the government. However, I want you to know that there is no mystical person out there going to develop the industry. It is us who graduate. We are the people who should form that foundation for the rest. We shouldn't be moving from here. And one of the things, let me tell you, tell you a secret. Should I? If your father, your uncle, your member of parliament, or other influential friend comes to me to ask for a job for you, I don't give it. But if you come to me, I'm likely to find something for you. Because why should a graduate not be innovative enough, assertive enough? Because working with me is something very serious. But if you have to look for technical know-how, then that means you don't have the qualification. If indeed you qualify to ask for this job, then come and ask. You're a graduate, aren't you? Huh? Are you there? Or you are sleeping? Yeah, so by graduating, to graduate means to leave the baby stage and go into maturity. And now you are a person who is affirming something. So you are the ones going to start the industries. You are the ones who should be innovating. And at Science and Technology, we support ideas. We support innovations. It doesn't matter, by the way, how educated you are, which language you speak. It's the quality of your idea that attracts financial and other support from us. So do you have those quality ideas? So it's important for you to note that while the government dedicates to creating an enabling environment, the path to success lies in your hands, my dear children. Do not underestimate the power of your unique human qualities. In a world increasingly driven by technology, which I am calling you to embrace, the human touch becomes even more valuable. Cultivate the qualities that I was telling you. Become a person of empathy, compassion, ethical decision-making as you navigate the challenges and the opportunities in the world that you are graduating into. I can't overemphasize. There are two things I usually tell graduates that have steered me to remain standing even when storms come. The water goes down and I remain standing. Those are some of the principles I decided. One, I observed scientifically that even the very lazy people like hardworking people. Even those who are very lazy, they're always looking for hardworking people. And I also observed that the corrupt want people of integrity to work with. So if I have those two, I never lack a job. Never. Because they always say, Musenero, you see, she's, you can trust her. And they say, she will do the job. So cultivate those values with you. Before I conclude, I would like to commend Cavendish University Uganda for consistently demonstrating commitment to excellence in academia and dedication to nurturing the brightest minds of our nation. The university's unwavering pursuit of academic and research excellency through deployment of technology has earned it a reputation as a center of knowledge and technology-enabled learning in our country and beyond. Your ability to continue teaching using an advanced learning platform during the period of shutdown, which I'm responsible for, but I'm not apologizing about it, because I saved your lives. I saved your lives and that of your parents. Your Excellency, I was the presidential advisor during COVID, so I was the one who always advised into shutdowns, and Ugandans didn't like me many times. But I don't apologize for it because you were alive enough to criticize me. If you had died, you wouldn't be there to say Musenero did this. So I really applaud the university for continuing the education during that time. One of the hallmarks of a progressive institution is its ability to adapt and embrace cutting-edge technologies and innovative methodologies. Accordingly, I don't expect these graduates to go out there as grumblers. There are opportunities all around you. The innovativeness that you have seen in the university, take that out into the world. Identify problems and turn them into opportunities. Innovation is the driving force behind progress, and I commend Cavendish University for fostering a culture of innovation among its students and faculty. Through initiatives that promote entrepreneurship and research, the university has empowered countless young minds to explore new frontiers, create groundbreaking solutions, and contribute meaningfully to the development of our society. I have been informed of students here who have developed useful computer applications to locate stolen properties, to monitor transport, to locate health facilities with specialist doctors on referral, and so on and so on. I hope that Cavendish is not one of those universities that have so many prototypes that never see the light of day in industry. At Science and Technology, we issue calls for innovations. And I invite you to look out for those advertisements. We put them on social media, we put them on our website, we put them in the mass media, in the newspapers, as we call out for innovations. And as I said, it's the quality of your idea, the quality of your innovation. It has nothing to whether you are my brother, my sister, whether I know you, black or white, tall or short. Of course, because I'm a bit short, I could be tempted to favor the short ones, but it doesn't happen. So, I would wish to reiterate that you, the graduating class, are the future leaders, entrepreneurs, and change makers of our society. And as you venture forth, remember that the government stands alongside you, ready to support, to empower, and enable your dreams to become a reality. Seize the opportunities that lie ahead, embrace challenges as stepping stones, and never stop striving for excellence. You have studied from a well-known, credible institution. I'm sure that you'll contribute positively to your families, communities, and nations. With those words, I would like to thank you so much for the opportunity to come and address young, promising graduates and their parents who have sacrificed to bring them to this level. I wish you success. I wish you excellence. I wish you integrity, hard work, and let's take our nation forward. I say this for God and my country.